Yo, it's your boy Duck, and you're tuned in to Undergroundopolis.
Welcome to Undergroundopolis, everybody. Wednesday night, time to party. Time to get your weekend started early. Oh, yeah. Well, just, of course, one little shameless self-promotion announcement. And then I'll bring my guests right on. Let's see. September 29th, which is tomorrow. When this airs, it's tomorrow. Brock and I from Springliner will be performing at 21st in Germantown. Yes, it's a Thursday night. There's no cover. No cover. Just come in. Come see us. We'll be playing for a couple hours. Those crazy-ass tunes that we do, you know, the ones you think are fun. That's about the only announcement I have right just now. I'm going to just talk about my guests for a second. I got the privilege to share a stage with these guys last, October, I think it was. Hey, it's been almost a year. With these guys had rocked the house that night. We had a band down from Chicago at the Mag Bar, band called the Weekend Run Club, who has also been on this show. They were such a great band, and then these guys, I got to open, get up there and sing all my raunchy ass songs making fun of Tony Melito and shit. and then these guys brought down the house at the end of the night, so I'm going to bring them right on.
Hey.
Oh, hey. It's us.
All right. Tell us who you are, where you're from.
Hey, I'm Kinni. I'm from a few places. I live in Louisville, Kentucky. And I love it here.
Crazy with this. Like, you see this?
We have an intruder.
Uh-oh.
And this is...
My name's Coco. I am also from a lot of places, but generally...
Where's Dad?
I've lived in Louisville for a long time, so I hail from Louisville as well.
Go ahead,
I'm
my man.
Shane. I am also from a lot of places.
What are you doing?
You need to go upstairs, please. Sorry.
You'll soon realize we're just a bunch of dads.
Yeah, we're all.
Coco.
Yeah. I hailed from Seattle for a couple years, and now I'm here. So.
Right on, man.
Go upstairs.
We are.
Hey, go upstairs. We're in the middle of something. Appreciate you.
Yeah. So I'm lead guitar, vocals. I have, up to this point, primarily written the songs. We're moving into more of a collaborative space. And Coco here plays bass. Shane's drumming, killing it. And, it's Kinni Moon Ground Control.
Kinni Moon Ground Control, which is a really great name. Now,
Oh, thanks.
Where all have you played so far? I know you got the Art Sanctuary here a while back. That was probably that got such a nice stage in there.
Yeah, it's a really awesome place. It's a really great venue. The problem with that venue is it's just a big space, so it's really tough to fill. So with a venue that big, it tends to not sound as good as it possibly could with more people in it. So it was tough to hear. I will say in that building, it was very hard to hear.
Was it?
Everything was.
It's pretty cavernous.
Yeah.
The whole thing is like made of metal.
Yeah, metal roof, metal ceiling, concrete walls, and it's just really big.
Yeah. So it sounds. I mean, if you get like 200 people in that room, it sounds amazing.
Yeah,
Like,
I bet it would.
Unbelievable.
But yeah, we played Art Sanctuary. We actually played with the Wormholes, who are going to join us at the Whirling Tiger on October 13th. And Sweet Lady is going to be on that bill as well. Sweet Lady's an awesome blues band. If you haven't heard them,
Oh, yeah.
Great dudes,
Oh, yeah.
love them. And the Wormholes are really great, super synthy, psychedelic rock. So we were pleased to be able to join them again, and they sounded great, honestly, in that big cavernous space. But their music is very like synth heavy.
A lot of very clean guitar lines and stuff
Yeah.
that sound great when they're reverberated out to the end of the world, you know.
For sure. But yeah, and then that's going to be super fun. And we have played Galaxy Bar. We're actually playing Galaxy Bar on November 5th as well. So, and we played there at Tequila Fest last year, and it was really cool. Was it last year or was it the beginning of this year?
I think it was the beginning of this year.
Okay, yeah, I think it was like early spring. And again, that's a nice big space, and you know, it sounded good. We're gonna do some other things this next time around to see if we can, you know, help out and change the sound even more to really just take advantage of how big that room is. And we're also the Enchanted Forest. We're about to play that, but
Well, it will have already.
oh yeah,
happened.
we'll have already. happened.
We played the Enchanted Forest. It was
Totally.
great,
It was
super
fantastic.
great. We had Killa Kaiju up. Killa Kaiju is a band from Lexington. They're very cool. Like it's like
Fuzz rock.
psychedelic jam, psychedelic fuzz.
Psychedelic.
Yeah, they're a really powerful band, 3-piece as well. So it was really great to have them up. It'll, you know, it's a great show.
Oh yeah.
Do they paint their faces like the band from Japan that's called like the kaiju or whatever?
No.
The guys that set all the fires and stuff.
We'll have to recommend that they start painting their faces and
Oh.
setting fires.
like the book that band you have to, the venue has to sign a waiver. They make them the venue sign a waiver.
Man, that's like Belushi here. They are prolific. You
Yeah.
know,
My buddy-
I love how crazy they are.
Our mutual friend, Brad Crust, loves the band you're talking about. He's seen them multiple times.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
I think they're actually from Japan. Like,
Yeah.
like all surf rock music. Like they
Interesting.
just set fires. That's what Kinni Moon should do. Is just start setting fires at shows. Right?
I don't know if
We don't have
I don't know if
enough
we're a
instruments,
pyrotechnics
dude.
band. Maybe one day.
What kind of band would you say Kinni Moon Ground Control is?
We're like a
Yeah.
liquid light show, laser beam in space band.
We've had this conversation together so many times.
I'd like to think that the way that we write our music is for big stages. Like I don't intend on playing small rooms forever, you know, and that's really where I come from when I write music. I picture it in a big place, you know, outdoors where people are partying on a lawn, you know, that's ultimately what we're aiming for, you know.
Like the Enchanted Forest. That's such a neat stage.
Oh, beautiful place. Like
That's super cool.
any place where I can
Tree.
lean on a tree while I play bass
Yeah,
is a good stage.
Say
You know?
trees growing up through the stage. When I first walked up there, I thought they were props, and then I realized those are actual trees.
That's a
Oh,
big
yeah.
ass prop.
Yeah, so I played there a few years back in another band, and I gave a shout out to the trees, and that was before there was a roof on it. It was like a totally different stage. It was actually just like a flat, basically like a, you know, just like a bare stage, you know, regular rectangle.
Yeah, they've done some really incredible renovations.
Yeah,
out there.
and now it's like, I mean, I'm honestly surprised that some of the more notable touring acts don't come through the Enchanted Forest. It's just a cool venue, man. It's like an intimate outdoor venue, and you don't really get that, especially on a local level. But we're lucky enough; it's like right there, you know. And for $10, you can see like really killer local acts in a really awesome place that sounds great. So
And for $5 more, you can get a fucking awesome beer while you're there.
Yeah.
Like Floyd County's super, super dope.
I like the Leprechaun Gold.
Yeah, I had a strawberry IPA with that there last time that was like really, it tasted like blueberry cereal. I was just over the moon.
Oh, you can get blueberry right now. I saw it in Walmart the other night.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
I think we had
Yeah,
Nice.
that. Yeah.
I bought the Count Chocula, but I didn't buy blueberry.
Yeah, that when I'm going for cereal, it's probably going to be something like that instead.
You know, I could go crazy on really ridiculous cereal, but my wife is really awesome and not buying it for that reason. So I'm
You used to be a fiend.
yes,
Cashing bowls in the middle of the night, bro.
yes.
Back to back.
I would eat like an entire box of cereal in one go, easy. But if you think about it, they're only like $3. That's like an entire meal for $3. It's not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, right. A half gallon of milk. It's not factored in.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
What beer do you drink, Shane, when you go to Enchanted Forest?
I've never been to Enchanted Forest, but probably High Life.
What's that?
I don't know. I'm a simple man.
He likes High Life. That's all he drinks is Miller High Life.
It's champagne
I
and
did-
beers. What can you say?
That's not true, man.
It's good beer.
I'm drinking a Michelob Ultra right now. It was given to me though.
Right.
High Life is good beer,
No, but-
man. We played Milwaukee a few months ago, and they had High Life on tap, and I swear it tastes better up there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's fucking colder, so
Yeah.
it's super crispy, you know.
I like sours and cervezas. I don't know. I just look at the menu and get whatever sounds good.
You like sours, you need to go to Radio. Well, I got my shirt on, which you can see it was Radio Artifact, Urban Artifact in Cincinnati.
Yeah, I would love to play that. Urban Artifact is one of my favorite. Like, I guess their commercial stuff is really good, but their like spontaneous sours and their barrel aged stuff is super, super interesting. I'd love to play there. It's like a church. It's a weird old
It
church.
is.
Oh,
It's,
hell yeah.
it's huge.
Yeah.
It's
Do they have a
huge,
stage?
man. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
And they'll make you a live album if you get on there.
There we
Speaking
go.
of live
There we go.
albums, like we were discussing before the show.
Really?
Before we
Do they
started
just
recording.
they just record the set?
Yeah, it takes them a little while to get it finished and mastered and everything, but
That's all right, us too.
Oh man.
Us too.
I don't understand how this isn't something that I've heard about.
well, I just told you. So
You're just impatient. That's all.
That's very nice. Very good information here, Rob. I'm glad we have met on this fine evening.
oh, I'll get you the info, man. I'll get you the info. I'll give you Devin's email or whatever.
Nice.
Oh, right on, man. Cool.
But is that's your plan? Is to make a live album as we was discussing for the show? What brought that on?
So I was just kind of insistent at first with the whole idea of like not wanting to do anything else to the mixes. And I think partially it's because I hate mixing a bunch of shit and all that work that comes along with multi-tracking. And I've done it, and that's how I've typically like been a part of recording projects and learned secondhand from a previous band I was in, Elephant Path, Devin Snelling. I'm not sure if you heard of Elephant Path at any time. Someone may have that's listening to this, but he is still making music. I actually learned a lot from him secondhand, and we did a lot of multi-track recording, overdubbing, use of plugins and things like that. And I've done that recently too in my solo stuff, but I just kind of wanted to escape from that produced version of everything, because I found myself kind of listening back to those old songs that were done, and they're not the same. They don't feel the same. They don't have the same energy. They don't have the same power that they do when we play them live. So I really just wanted to focus on that and just really lean on the live sound, making it raw. And Coco fought me on it at first, and it was kind of like, we can do all this crazy stuff. We can multi-track and we can layer, and that stuff is awesome. And we are going to get to that eventually. But with what we have right now, we use a Model 12. We have a mixer that we just record straight to an SD card, drop the WAV files in a DAW, and I mix and master it from there. And, we got pretty good results, from the first single that we released. It's called You're Older. And that was completely done live. No overdubs, no retracks. All the vocal takes and everything are from the live version. And it came out great. So now we're just going to kind of focus on that for a while. And we've kind of curated our pedal boards and our sound and our, all the effects and everything that we're using are really curated at this point. And we just want to capture that live thing in the best way and just get the raw version of that and get that out before we do anything else. Because, of course, that's not the only thing we want to do.
Yeah, and there's like a healthy dose of perspective that's like coupled with recording and releasing single takes. Like everything that you do right then and there is going to be released. And if somebody, has a mistake that catastrophically changes the trajectory of the take, everybody starts over. I mean, it's unless it's perfectly executed to like whatever standard we set, it's not getting released. And that like also drives us to be a way tighter and way more coordinated group. And it's also why we're developing these pedal boards specifically for live sound and then capturing that sound rather than having, like we were talking about, a bunch of plugins and a bunch of like post-production and stuff, because that stuff's really cool. But we also we want you to be able to hear a hit thing and then come out and be even more impressed than when you listen to the album.
Tell perspective. You guys got a favorite show story?
Damn, we haven't played a lot of them.
We're not seasoned enough, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I've seen you. You're plenty seasoned, man. You put on a hell of a show.
Appreciate that.
Thanks.
That's a lot of hours in the rehearsal studio, just like really tightening down and like being so hypercritical of like everything that we're doing, so that way we can execute in the best way that we know how, and the best way that we can.
I had a girl come up to me after a show and comment me on my drummer muscles, squeeze my arm a little bit.
That's right.
Pretty. My favorite show, sir.
Yeah.
Well, do you have a least favorite show story?
Oh man, I don't know if we can even say anything.
I was gonna say I do,
First,
but also it's like I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. Like it's a pretty specific memory about pretty specific people.
It's only a little personal.
Yeah, so not to stir any shit. We probably
stir it up, man.
No, we might have to talk about that off the record.
That might be a conversation we have over a beer,
For sure.
Well,
I'm glad you know exactly what I mean.
Speaking of personal, is there a very personal song to you guys? You can have different answers or whatever that you
personal of our own songs.
Yeah.
Well, they're all pretty personal. From my perspective, it's a little different than these two fellas, just because from where, like, a lot of the songs that we learned initially have been mainly written by me, whereas now, things are changing a little bit. So, they're all definitely personal. Whenever I write a song, it's not very often that I write them recently. So when I do, I like them typically. But yeah.
You got a favorite song to play live? You got to have a favorite song to play live. You all can have different. Have a different
Mine
answer
is
or
Good Times, where
Yeah.
the time changes, the tempo changes. When we lock in, like when we really lock in, magic happens. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
For
one
me.
is that one is rough on bass. It's like we've talked about that. It's like it's fine. It's really fun, and it's like a pretty simple pattern. It's just it's movement the whole time. Like it's like 16th note movement at like 140 or 150 BPM the whole time, and it's pretty cool. It's fun for sure, but like I said, taxing. I think I don't know. I really like playing Letting Go. It's like the first song that we have in the set that we're developing right now. And I like all the other songs, and there's some that are like, that have specific parts that I really love. But that song has just like, we've poured a lot of work into that tune. And it's come from like a song to like a series of movements that really like speak cohesively as a thing rather than just a song. And I really love the progress and like the soundscapes that we do and shit. Like, feels good.
For sure. I would say I'm over here thinking because I'm like, damn, I kind of just dig playing our set too.
This set is crazy as fuck too. It's really fun.
But I would say the one that makes me feel the coolest is probably El Camino. It's just super fucking heavy, fuzzy.
I feel that.
The guitar solo, I just found this thing that I do in it that just is perfect for it, and every time I execute it, I just feel real good about it. So I'd probably say that one.
I forgot to give the heads up at the beginning of the show. If you hear cats, kittens, it's because there's kittens down here.
That's all right, bro.
Yeah.
If you hear kids and dogs, it's because they're over here. So
Yeah, no shit. We got just noise. You're gonna hear it.
But you asked about like songs that are personal to us, and like the songs that we've been writing recently, I feel like are more intrinsically personal, because not like content wise necessarily, like not like from a lyrical perspective or something like that, but we are all like individually crafting this thing together, and it's like the vision that we have as a band seems to be really like coming alive the more that we write collectively. And so there's like, I want to say like 4 or 5 songs that we've been writing recently that are like, that just feel so much like us. So
yeah, for sure. I think that we're all at a point where we're changing together as musicians instead of changing individually still. Like we definitely do our fair share of practicing. I go home and do my thing. Coco does his thing. Shane does his thing. And when we come together, though, it just seems like, we're starting to kind of mend in the same ways, and we're finding things that we like to do that, it's the way we sound, and I truly do think that we're finding, a groove that we're in right now. And, we're going to ride that wave as long as we can, until a new form of inspiration comes along or a new influence. But we're always, we're all influenced by so many different things already, and I think that is why we sound the way we sound, because we just kind of sound like mashing, but in a beautiful way. I think that we're really coming together in a cool way.
Say, I never noticed you sounding mashing or like chaotic or anything like that. You guys got it down.
Thanks,
We
man.
regularly get in arguments,
Yes.
full-on arguments over what music is better, and so on.
And shit, I mean, we've argued about parts. I mean, we're in rehearsal. I mean, we just care deeply about it being right. And sometimes we all think we're all right in 3 different ways. And sometimes, it ends up just being a thing that has to happen. But, we end up working through it. We figure out what the solution is, and we move on, because it's the music that really fucking matters. It's not, the personal arguments, because we're all just so ready for it to be great, and we're so just determined to make great music that impacts people. And that's really why we're so passionate and so heated at times, because we just want it to be good, you know. And Coco and we actually played in a band when we first moved to Louisville, and you know, we know what it's like to squander time and to just
And lose it to like petty quibbles and like just not being forthright, just not saying what you mean, and like getting all of the shit out of the way, and like letting stuff like it was just, there was a lot of toxicity that we just didn't address ever, and then until it fell apart entirely, and then it felt like every part of it was a waste. In retrospect, obviously, you learn so much from all of your experiences, like years of playing. Just there's nothing that you would do to like take it back, but it's like, damn, there's a few things that I'd change if I did go.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we're growing all the time, and it's really cool. Shane has actually, it's ridiculous, has never played in a band. Well, he's like jammed with people, but he's never been in like a band playing shows. And anyone who has seen Shane play, I mean, he destroys the drum kit like he's got 8 limbs. It's insane.
Regularly after shows, I think the most common thing is people come up and say, "Hey man, that was really great. Your drummer is fucking crazy."
Yeah. So it doesn't even matter that I write the songs or sing them or anything. It's just, Shane, you're as good as your drummer, though.
That's true.
Man, my history teacher in high school told me that, and I'll never forget it. He was telling me to listen to Led Zeppelin. And he's like, "Dude, do you like Led Zeppelin?" I was like, "Duh." And he's like, "Who doesn't like Led Zeppelin? Every young musician." You don't like Led Zeppelin?
I'm a punk rocker, man.
This guy. Listen, we could talk about Led Zeppelin for a minute, because, you know, as much as I do love and respect them, I also kind of despise them in a lot of ways, because they stole a lot of their music. But we won't get into that. They're still amazing, and they sound phenomenal. The point is, John Bonham was the reason that he made that statement to me. He's like, you know, John Bonham is just an amazing drummer. He listens better than any other drummer. And, you know, a band is as good as their rhythm section. Like, if your drummer is great, you're going to sound pretty damn good, even if you suck. You know? So we got that working for us.
Yeah, because we suck. So
I like Shane's drumming. I don't see him as a clubber, like, not that I've seen.
That's actually something we've really had to like drive into him. Is more? Yeah, it's like, well, because he's a really nuanced player. Like he started as a punk drummer, right? Which is cool. And honestly, I could let him tell this for himself, but
so you go ahead.
So he started as a punk drummer and was like a really proficient punk drummer, and then moved later into like started, you know, listening to a bunch of the Dead and started listening to more like fusion and stuff, right? And so it's like all of a sudden you're hearing these really like intricate bell, like ride and bell parts, and you're hearing these really like intricate tom runs that have really, really solid clarity. And so that's what he's been kind of like focusing on seemingly for the past couple of years, which is great for us because a lot of our music demands that kind of technicality. But on the same side, we really want to fucking punch you in the face with crushing tones. And part of that is like, we need you to punch your cymbals. And so there's a balance that we're finding. And I think we've definitely within the past like year have been way more focused in that balance and have like definitely made huge steps toward that. But yeah, Shane has recently learned how to hurt his metal. So
yeah, we definitely work on dynamics a lot, you know, like bringing down the volume and trying to tame parts that are supposed to be quiet and try to bring up the intensity when it really is supposed to be intense. And that's, you know, something that I think Shane has done a tremendous job of. I think that just makes you a really good drummer is when you understand dynamics. You know.
Contrast. It's the word of the month. You know.
Yeah.
Well, I have
We got
to
this black and
play
white.
dynamic playing your guys' music.
Our music.
well,
Don't,
Our
you know,
music.
I know you're on another screen, but like, come on.
Well, you know, like mirrors, for example. I find myself having to like get better as a drummer to play the music that's written, just because Jeff likes writing in like 11. What drummer sits down and practices 11? You know, nobody. So I have to learn how to do that.
You do.
You know, well, now I do, because you know, I'm playing the music that is written, and I have to do something that fits.
Yeah. Well, you know, I don't mean to write in these crazy time signatures because I can't even count them when I write them. I just come to the room with this crazy riff, and I'm like, guys, what is this? What does this mean? And they sit there, and Coco will sit there, and it's this, and then Shane's like, no, it's this. No, it's, or you can count it like this, 4 measures of this, and then it's a measure of this, or we can just say it's 11. It's like, to me, it's just like, I know the riff, I can play it, and that's it.
Yeah, honestly, we do more math than playing music.
We have kind of an inside joke in one of our songs. Is it Burgundy?
Yeah.
There's a pause there. You know, I won't. It's whatever. It's going to remain on the inside, but it's good.
Well, guys, I'm starting to run out of time. What to plug in there? What you got coming up next?
Yeah, October 13th, Whirling Tiger. November 5th, Gear Fest, Galaxy Bar. We are looking for vendors, you know, vintage clothing vendors, music stores that want to have a pop-up booth.
Maybe
you know, glass blowers. You know, going to be kind of like a vendor /
Even individuals.
market. Yeah, individuals that want to sell items. If you want to sell your art, you know, whatever.
Gear.
Email.
You got a surplus of
stuff laying around. Want to sell it to other musicians? Just email galaxygearfest@gmail.com. It's with an IE, Galaxy. And then, you know, in the meantime, look out for new songs. We have several things in the works. We've got a mix that we can't decide on. We need a bass take for it. And every time we do the bass take, it's just not the one. According to Coco, me and Shane have both been like,
I'm convinced that we just need to redo the whole track live, because like at this point, so he said earlier that I was against the live thing, and I was at first because I too had been inundated by people saying like, oh, multi-tracking, like you have such room for like diversity, and like your recordings can be so much more depthy and stuff. And then I realized it's just better to just play the fucking music.
Yeah, well, it's a multi-track song, to cut to the chase. It's from a few months ago. It's just been like finished basically. It just needs a bass take, so that might be coming out. We're still deciding on that, but in the meantime, we're going to be trying to actually track the current set that we have and try and basically turn it into like an EP or like a live release of some sort. So, you know, all these things are possible, and they should be coming at you within the next few months. I'd say by the end of winter, like January, February-ish, you know, I'd like to have a good 4 or 5 songs to release.
All right. Well, guys, can you find your music anywhere right now?
Yeah, Spotify, Apple Music, all that kind of good stuff. And then KinniMoon.com. Check it out. It's going to have, you know, photos of our previous shows, links to buy stuff, our merch. We've got calendar, all that good stuff on there, all the newest music, and then links to all the socials from there too. So appreciate all the support.